enough to hear. Yes, I do. What did you say? I got to get you closer.
Videos or just reading together and things like that. And really, it's hard to make time for certain things to happen. And it just dawned on me that if you are married and you can't even set aside a complete hour a day in your life, a day, I'm not talking about once a week, I'm talking about in a day, that you cannot spend time with your spouse, in my opinion,
Yes.
your priorities are out of order. And that somewhere along the line, you have gotten so comfortable being non-existent in each other's lives. You just kind of see each other when you go to bed. You see each other if somebody's preparing food. You see each other once somebody get home from work and things like that. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about quality time. And most marriages are not making time for that. Not even 1 hour in a day. And if you got that much going on in your life that you cannot spend 1 hour with the person that you're supposed to dwell with for the rest of your life, then that's a problem.
You're too busy.
Yeah, you're way too busy.
All right, I would agree. Number 3, put your spouse first. In a day and age when there are so many things that scream for our attention, here we go, talking about being busy, it's important that our spouses feel like they are important in our lives. This year, determine to put your spouse above all the noise trying to attract your attention. Determined to put them first.
And the way that we use our iPads and all this technology, won't you use it for your spouse? You know what I'm saying? Everything's on there for a program, an appointment or something. Make it that. If that's what it's going to take for you to be able to do what you need to do, then use your iPhones and all of your different devices for those things. You know, if you have to plug it in and for an alarm to go off, then do whatever you have to do, because life is at another place now than it used to be. You know, everybody is so consumed with all the hundreds of events that their children have going on, with their jobs and just everything. So whatever you have to do to get to the place that you need to do is called doing it on purpose.
And we said that earlier, schedule, make appointments for the things that are important.
Absolutely.
So we did
and most of the women that we counsel in the marriage setting, the number one thing to them is feeling like they're in first place. You know, they just don't feel it, you know, and so seem like if someone tells you that and you say that this is what you want for the rest of your life, then you would make the adjustments. But people sometimes are not willing to do that.
I'm always an optimist, and I just try to believe that it's not that a massive number of people just don't want to do it, but I tend to go back to whatever you think of on abundance is what you will actually do. Our marriage turned around as a result of seeking marriage information, reading books about marriage, and watching videos about marriage, and watching people teach about marriage, and studying about marriage. So it made our marriage turn around. It forced it to, because we think about it more in abundance. And so, but to most couples, that's not something that they spend much time on. They spend time on, what's going on with their job, what's going on with their children, their hobbies, and their hobbies may be television and things like that. And if
and video games,
and if your hobbies are TV and things like that, reality shows and movies and things like that, you can really be formulating a mindset opposing marriage and don't even realize it.
Yep.
And I know you can, because we like watching movies. And so I like watching a lot of movies, but because of how much study and time I put into marriage, whenever I see something that's, slyly opposing marriage, I'm keen on it.
Yes.
It sticks out to us. We even talk about it, man, that's, and sometimes I may be looking at something by myself, and if they're talking about marriage, relationships in a negative way, I'll turn it off. I'm like, I don't even want to hear that. But most people won't. I was listening to something, I'm not going to give even name, credit to the person's name right now, but I saw something on Facebook today. A person was out there, and several 100,000 people had viewed something, and several, couple thousand people had liked it. That's a big number on Facebook, and so it's about 1:34. So I looked at it, and it was about divorce, and I looked at it, and it was, he was being funny, and everybody was laughing about what he was saying, but it was a tragedy of what really went on, and it was a tragedy of what he was saying, and I know the Bible says the laughter does the body good like medicine, but I don't want to just be laughing about something that's reframing my mind in a negative mindset. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, let me laugh about something positive. Don't let me laugh about something that now down the line when I'm faced with that challenge, now I can lean towards making the negative decision, because I've been hearing that, been laughing about it, I've been seeing it on Facebook, I've been seeing it on TV, and now I'm leaning toward that, don't even really know why. You better get in contact with the lovebirds and get in contact with somebody who's going to put you in the right frame of mind, God's frame of mind as it relates to marriage. Cultivate common interest. It's easy to do things that interest you personally, yes, but why not learn some new hobbies with your spouse? This year, find some common interests that both you and your spouse would enjoy, and do them often. What better way to have fun with your spouse and learn more about them?
Good.
What you think is something good that people could do that they don't do together?
I mean, that would be hard for me to say, because it would be my desires, but start somewhere.
I don't necessarily mean your desires. I mean, that's something I don't necessarily. Okay, fishing.
Never.
Okay, but you know what? I mean, that's actually good.
As long as we can do it in the summer.
Because if a couple is sitting out, they get out on the boat on an early Saturday morning.
I think it's amazing.
As the sun's
romantic.
coming up, yeah, they out there on the dock or even maybe out on a boat, and they're out there for a couple hours, just the two of them, and can spend some time talking and having fun.
That would really work in California.
Now you teased about fishing when that suggestion was given, but I know it's been a long time ago, but we fished somewhere together. Somebody's
more
lake,
than once, but I'm saying that
it was fun.
It was fun, but it was hilarious more than fun.
But fun, that's good to a relationship. Having fun, laughing. That's what
I can do it all the time as long as I don't have to touch nothing. Then I don't have to do any of those things. I'm good.
That's the only reason why you couldn't do it with me all the time, because I'm not scaling your fish.
That's what I'm saying.
Baiting your fish for you all the time.
And that's the problem.
You're gonna have to learn to get your little California hands dirty. But no, fishing. I mean, so that's when I just said throw out an example. Fishing not be our biggest desire or something to do.
Yeah.
But just the fact that if a couples could do it together, it could be something that's fun. Couples could try, some dance classes, some salsa dancing, or maybe some waltzing, or something like that. It could be a lot of things. I mean, for one couple, I remember one year we had for a while we had fun playing track and field on my son's Wii.
Yeah.
And we moved the furniture, and we is to those who don't know, Wii is a video game kind of, but it you can play it without actual hand sticks, joysticks. They call them.
Use your body.
You actually use your body. The television picks you up, and you use the running motions, the jumping motions. It's actually a great workout.
The best one is bowling and tennis.
Yeah, bowling and tennis. They are not the best workout though. The best workout is that track and field. It's running them hurdles and and running that 100. That track and field is a great workout.
You're completely burning calories and you're tired.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
and it's fun.
And the kids were involved.
And so it's always fun. So there's a couple examples right there, straight from the Lovebirds.
Yay. Do
something together in 2015. Number 6. Work toward conflict resolution. No marriage is perfect, but a peaceful marriage is one to strive for. Let 2015 be the year you work toward healthy conflict resolution. Learn better strategies for your marriages and learn how to discuss things peacefully with your spouse. Strive toward healthy communication. Oh my goodness, I would say so. I mean, that one almost doesn't need any, any adding on to it. I mean, because as again I said, even the best marriages have things that they could come into conflict about. They could have disagreements about. That's just a natural part of man and woman dwelling together. But it doesn't mean that we have to fuss and we have to fight about our disagreements and our conflicts. We just have to be willing to discuss them, and we have to be willing to learn one another. And I was thinking about this earlier. One of the key things, now we talk about men need to learn how to understand women, right? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
And
They
women,
can send me too.
women need to learn how to understand men, right?
Correct.
Okay. And I think that's extremely important, because most men and most men think alike and most women think alike. There's some little exceptions here and there, but for the most part. But I think even more deeper than that, the key thing is a man needs to understand his wife.
You have 500 bonuses points that will go into your love language.
I mean, this is the key, because even though women generally think and operate alike, each one of them is an individual. Each one of them has different things that make them tick. Mm-hmm. Even each one has different things that maybe upset them, and it's all based upon how they grew up and what they were exposed to, how they process things, and so it's important to understand women. But sometimes you can listen to somebody else teach about women. Now we don't teach usually in a way that it's directed towards us.
Yes.
We usually try to teach in a way that is general to all couples, people, period. But you could go to, you can turn on television and listen to somebody talk about marriage or preach about marriage, or go to a church or something like that. And a lot of times you hear them talking about their own particular marriage. Yes. And their own particular wife, and how she is and how she should be, or how he is, how he should be. Well, that's dangerous for a person sitting in the audience listening to that, because the same things may not make you tick.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I say it's important that not just you understand the opposite sex, but you understand your spouse. So you have to understand me, but you have to understand me more than any other man.
Yeah, because if you put 20 men lined up, and maybe out of the 20 and maybe one or two that can say that they really know their wives, most of the other information will be general. Well, women are like this. Women like these type of things. Women, oh man, that time of the month. Some women don't do nothing during that time. You know what I'm saying? And so it's more general. Most men do not know their wives, but most wives pretty much have dissected and know the habits in their husbands. They may not can tell you completely how he thinks as a man, but they know their husbands.